God has needs too. And the first need that God has, and actually the Bible says that he is seeking. Something that you are seeking means that you are almost desperate for. He is seeking true worshippers. Who are the true worshippers? These are people who don't worship him for what he can give, for what they can get, but for who he is, and because they love him. But any true friendship is not based on what you can get, it is based on what you can give. And God desires that kind of genuinity from us. God desires a people who will come to him, not just for what they can get, but what they can also give in that relationship. And as a matter of fact, God is looking for worship. God is looking, because he cannot worship himself. But our worship must be genuine. Number two, God has need for a friend. He doesn't have many friends. God doesn't have many friends. And who is a friend? A friend is somebody you share a mutual relationship. Most of the time, when we approach God, we see him like an entity that should supply to us, that should give to us, that we should make demands upon. But do you know God also have needs, and he has burdens in his heart. God has burdens, and he would desire to have somebody whom he can share his burden with. But who is ready to do this? Most of us just survive in that relationship on the edge of what we can get away with, not what we can give in that relationship we have with God. Remember one friend of God called Abraham? God shared with him his burden about Sodom and Gomorrah. He knew this man would stand in the gap. He said, I cannot do that before I have notified my friend, because he's going to do something about it. Another man who was called a friend is Moses. And Moses shared God's burden for the people. He is the kind who would say, no, take my life, but spare these people. That's a friend, and God would listen to him. Moses was one of the greatest intercessors, who the Bible says talked with God face to face. Why? Because he shared God's burden. He was not about like just telling God, give me this, do this for me, do that for me, I need that, I have that expectation, you have not done this. No. Those are children who act like that. Even our own children, when they grow up, at the beginning level, they are just after what we can give as parents. They'll come to you, I don't have this, mom, I need to eat, I need clothes, I need fees, I do this, do that. That is a child. And you cannot have very meaningful conversation with such children, because you'll just talk to them in the level of their needs. So I'll do this for you, or you give promises, you deliver this and that. But when they grow up to a certain age, now they are beyond 18, they have stopped learning. You start having meaningful conversations with them. You can tell them what really troubles your heart. You can share your future plans. You can talk to them about your possessions.